deacon, taxman, grandfather. Now, that's a lot altogether. How does that work altogether for one man? Because that seems like a lot. How do you balance deacon, fatherhood, grandfatherhood, husband?
And I will tell you, and it's almost you have to put your life in priorities. And I have the same, and I tell my staff this: look, the way life should go, you should have your priorities: God number one, family number two, and work everything else below. And if you set up that priority, then everything seems to fall in place. Because I can't. There's no way I could do what I'm doing if it wasn't because of God's grace. I teach at Delmar full time. I have a full-time CPA, husband. I have a wife. I have 5 children, 12 grandchildren, and then a deacon. So it's kind of like trying to balance it all. And God has given me people to help me. So, and I learned to delegate. And I try to pace myself. And you have to have prayer in your life, but you also need to balance all those things. You can't work 24/7. You can't really pray 24/7, but you do different things so that you can calm yourself, keep yourself in balance. I guess that's the thing. Keep yourself in balance. So that's what I try to do. I used to be able to play tennis more. I don't play it as much. My knees aren't what they used to be. I do a lot of bowling. I do bowl, and that 3-hour bowling once a week is like it's a relaxation because you're not thinking about anything else but trying to hit those pins. So that really helps.
But the most important thing is you're being active. And you're walking, you're doing a little bit of a squat, you're using your arms. So yeah, that's perfect. We should go bowling more. But
it's a good lifetime sport, no question about that.
So before you got married to when you got married, how did you start to arrange finances? How did that affect you? Did you start saving anything before, or were you like, oh no, I'm married now, I better start saving for the future?
Well, I mean, the whole thing is you're always trying to better yourself in terms of education so you can get a better job, so you don't have to worry about worry about finances. But finances is a lifetime endeavor. I mean, it's almost like when you have all these professional teams, basketball teams, football teams. You have a game plan going in, but things change. And so you have to be able to adjust depending on what's going on. But the other thing that is part of that is your faith in God, your faith that God will be with you if things change, if you get some disasters that happen in your life where, it could be you're out of money. And, so you rely on family, you rely on colleagues, you rely on somebody to help you out. You just never know. You never know what kind of benefit or what advantage you'll get down the road. And part of this, all this is also giving back to God, because lots of times, you get $100 and you should say, well, $10 should be for God. Give him his 10%. And lots of times we don't want to give up those $10, but in doing that, you get more graces. And I've tried to tell in advising couples, I said that's your balance. You got to give back, and in giving back, sometimes you will get more. And it could be like better health. It could be there's less stress in your life, all sorts of things. But there's where the balance is. I was a nervous wreck when I first got married. Because you're like, okay, I've got a wife now, I got to support, and then we had our first child a year later, and then all of a sudden I lost my job. So it was stressful, but I always said, I've got to keep going. I've got an education, I'm healthy, I can work. And I was just looking for the right path. Where is the right path on the gifts that God gives you? Everybody's different. You can't say, okay, you're going to be a lawyer, you're going to be a CPA, you're going to work for the refinery. Everybody's different, and you're lucky if you can find something that's your passion and you do it. It won't feel like work. But sometimes you got to work because you're trying to support your family, and try to balance life, and try to make sure that your family's taken care of.